What's up, bros? Got your host, February Beats, and today here with another video. And honestly, I've been really excited to do this video. I just had a zero sugar doc. I just got off of work about an hour ago. Been talking to my girl all day. She knows how I get excited about doing these things. And she's one of my biggest supporters out there. And I just want to say thank you, baby. I know you're watching the video. Sorry for the people watching this. I don't want to hear the lovey-dovey stuff. Anyways, we're going to be reviewing The Dark Knight Returns Batman. I'm going to be honest, I've been really excited to open this up. I've been waiting to open this up. Usually what I do is I open up my figures, review them, and I brought these two Batmans. Ooh, excuse me, I just had a burp. Ooh, that just passed me. Anyways, I brought these two Batmans back out. I have this Batman walking through a clock tower. I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, no, I brought these two Batmans back out. I'm gonna get this unboxed in a minute. We're just gonna look at this real quick. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why, but now here's the thing about this Batman. Before I even, I'll get to it when I get it out of the box, but this Batman is similar to another Mcfarlane Batman. Like, I think it's similar to their first wave Mcfarlane Batman, and then also, be right back. I don't know if it uses the same body type. I don't know if you can tell, but I think in a way it uses the same body. I think it does use the same body type. This figure is practically the same. The only thing I would say that's different is the head mold. The ears are the same. I think the face sculpt is just a tad bit different. Obviously, the paint mold is different. So I guess I'll have this Batman out here. I wasn't planning on bringing out manga Batman, but I guess I'll have manga Batman out here. I had this figure in storage for a while. I just haven't, had the time to get to actually reviewing it. The thing I want to talk about is people don't really talk much about this figure. And I don't know why. Like, Toy Shiz didn't talk much about it. Five Poa, 5 Points of Articulation, which is one of my favorite YouTubers. I've talked to him in his comment section many times about Kenner and a bunch of different figures. Shout out to him, because the more other vintage collectors you check out, maybe there's a chance of me being noticed. Not saying that as an egotistical thing, just saying that as a recognizable thing. And go check out the Junkman. Recognize other fellow great YouTubers, and that's what I like to do. And what I want to talk about is no one really reviews this figure, and I don't know why. And then I also saw like a year one custom Batman that I was looking into. But then my girlfriend would be mad because she'd be like, that's a little ridiculous amount of spending money because it's like $40. Anyway, we're going to get this bad boy open. I'm going to move manga Batman just for a minute. I just want to check the back out. So if we look at the back, you have all the figures. I'm not a typical reviewer, but you basically have all the figures from when this line was released. The funniest thing I know, I don't know if you can see that, but for some reason when they put these images out, the figures look way different than their final. Oh, they have Tech Shield Batman. That's pretty fucking cool. I'll tell you the figures I'm trying to collect, at least, that I want. If I can get this focused up, the lighting is probably better over here than it is over there. Now, you already know I have the Dark Knight Returns Batman. The newest Superman is not on here because that was like more of a later release. But the figures I'm really trying to get the review for you guys is the blue and gray Batman. And I did recently order a black and gray Batman, which is one of my favorite Batmans in general. I saw a year one custom Batman. I debated on, should I buy it? Should I go after it? Should I order it? I'm debating it. I have another video coming up. I'm having the Jack specific Batman come in soon, I think tomorrow, so I might review that soon for you guys, or open it and review it later, whatever. We'll see. But yeah, and I really like this classic Batman logo. I don't know why. That's the coolest thing. And then you have the vehicles here. You have the Whirly Bat. I always think the Whirly Bat is funny because I think only the 60s Batman has used it. And I also think it's just a funny reference because it's like one of the worst Bat vehicles. actually known in Batman history. And here's another fun fact about the Whirly Bat that no one else knows, or if they do, they do. But in the Batman Hush comic, Hush dies because his bandages get wrapped around the propeller as it's flying off in the Batcave, and he basically explodes like a splat of paint on the ceiling of the Batcave. As dark as that is, there's a reason why my channel is not for kids, because I would not be able to say that if my channel was for kids. So if you're wondering why my channel ain't for fucking kids, that's why. And the F word got slipped in there too. But yeah, that's just a fun Bat utility belt fact there. I think it's kind of cool what McFarlane has done with this line. I don't care for the Flashpoint Batman, but I do see that Justice Lord Superman, which is kind of cool because that's like a nod to the old Justice League cartoon. But yeah, anyways, let's get this bad boy open. Alright, so I realized the belt is kind of slightly tilted. And if you're wondering why I have these two Batmans out, I was going to get to explain that once I got this guy out of the box, which at first I thought it was like a purplish blue or something, like it was a weird color. But it's actually blue, which means it's the blue variation. I think it's the beginning story variation. The only problem I have with this is he wears different suits in that comic, I'm pretty sure. I think he wears like the yellow oval at one point, then he wears like the blue with a black bat emblem, and then he wears a black and gray. He wears like maybe, I would say, 3 different variations of the bat suit. And I don't know why. This is my first ever Dark Knight Returns figure, and I will say this about it. The head sculpt isn't bad. Actually, I wish they used a different head sculpt. Kinda, just a little. If they really wanted, if McFarlane really wanted to, he could have used that head sculpt for an Owlman, in my opinion. He could have used that head sculpt for an Owlman, but I don't know. It's kind of just a weird choice for a Dark Knight. I guess it works for Dark Knight Returns Batman, but it doesn't. And he used, oh shit, I dropped it. He used it originally for his Hush Batman figure in his first wave, which is pretty interesting to think about. I don't know why. I don't know. Oh shit, dropped it. But I don't know why, but it's a weird head sculpt to choose for a Dark Knight. Now, you could tell it's obviously Dark Knight Returns. Toy shit. It seems like anyone that picked this up, it was just picking it up for the review. I picked it up because I generally wanted it. I don't really have a Dark Knight Returns Batman. I don't plan on getting a McFarlane Dark Knight Returns. I mean, I guess I did. This is McFarlane. But I really like collecting near 5-inch or 4-inch scale. I don't care for 3.5 inches, whatever. That shit really, like, I don't know. The Robert Pattinson Spin Master figures and all that, I can't really get into. Some of the Spin Master figures are cool, but I generally don't like collecting around that size. I wish McFarlane made more variations of Batman and maybe, like, better molds or so. But this isn't half bad, and if you really wanted to, you could make this a more, like, black and gray variation of Batman. I don't think that's what that one guy did on eBay. I really want to get the figure to see, like, how it looks. But, because it's fully custom made and everything, it's supposed to be year 1. This is Dark Knight, and honestly, I think it would be cool to have year 1 Batman next to a Dark Knight Returns Batman. I generally like this figure. I think the ear is a little chipped. I can't tell, but it looks a little chipped on one side. Yeah, no, you could definitely tell. And I can't tell if that's because of the packaging or something, but the tip of the ear right there looks like it got chipped. I will do some other comparisons. My next review is gonna... I don't know. I don't really have much to say on this review. Usually my reviews are longer than this, but, like, I think the reason why I decided to bring out these Batmans is mostly because these Batmans were inspired off of the Dark Knight Returns. And honestly, I just want to see how the Dark Knight Returns figure compares to these Kenner figures. And I always think it's amazing how well Kenner has actually captured the look of the animated series Either if it's in a realistic, not really from the cartoon design, or if it's actually from the cartoon design. Because I just think it's really interesting. And honestly, I don't I like the more capsule belt Batman. That's why I picked up the black and gray one again, because I have mentioned before I own the black and gray one and I use the cape for my retro Batman. But honestly, being able to hold this Batman in hand, I mean, I don't know, it has interesting. I feel like I can see why people don't like it. I don't think it's a complete total waste of a figure. I kind of wish McFarlane went with a more. I guess if he went with a black version, then it would throw off. Like, I don't know. I wish he went with a different head mold. It looks like he may have just reused the Hush head mold from the first wave. That's really what it kind of looks like. The cape isn't half bad. I think I'll do the cape test. I have no clue. I don't think it falls off as easily, so the cape test pass. I don't know. I feel like if you want Batman to, you could get some good poses, whatever. I do have another McFarlane Batman. I do have the Batman Who Laughs. We're gonna move that Batman out of there. The manga Batman and this Batman do use the same body. Yeah. I don't know. I'm debating on getting that year one Batman, but I don't know. I'm not too disappointed with the Dark Knight Returns Batman. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a bad figure. I don't know if I'll put it up on display. I might. It's not a complete bad figure. I can put it next to my other blue and gray Batman. I could put it next to my. You know what? There is something I wanted to do. I wanted to do this Batman next to my other comic, 90s Kenner Batmans. Hold on. Wait a minute. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, from a far distance, like from... Sorry, I got distracted by something for a minute, but something crazy happened in the background. Anyways, back to what I was doing. So, I decided to bring out these 90s more comic style Batmans. So you have the Legends of Batman. I don't think I ever told you what variation of this Batman is, but he came from the Legends of Batman line. He's Crusader Batman. And this is Iron Winch Batman from the Dark Knight collection, or the Batman Returns line, which they're both the same Batman regardless. And there's like two names and they came with different accessories, but it's the same fucking figure. They're just putting out the same mold. Now, the one thing you'll notice that they all have in common is all the comic 90s Batmans are fucking blue. No black in here. That did not sound right. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, what I was gonna point out is from afar, I kinda can see the head mold looking like Frank Miller's artwork. Like, I know it's still superpowers and it doesn't have the high detail as the main McFarlane line, but in my opinion, I think these, like, each Batman figure, each figure that has, been given from McFarlane in the superpowers line, they need to be appreciated. I'm giving that appreciation. I feel like these figures do not get as much appreciation as Hot Toys, McFarlane's main line, or the old Mattel figures, or just... And actually, Mattel's getting a lot of disrespect right now for no fucking reason, because McFarlane fanboys are upset that DC's giving the license to Mattel again. Anyways, and I like Mattel. I like wrestling figure. I think they know what they're doing with their line. Anyways, honestly, he looks good next to like any of these 90s Batman Kenner figures. So if you were to have a shelf and like you have a bunch of Batman figures and then you have random Batman figures, I can see you putting him up near any of these. Now, if you want to see what a McFarlane mainline figure looks like next to this Batman, I'm going to do this only one time, maybe even more. Who knows? I'm doing this for the first time because I generally don't like pulling out different scaling. I mean, except for him, he's like way taller than the superpowers line. These are around the same height, actually. Anyways, so the head molds to me on both of these figures look pretty similar. That's just me. The head molds at least look similar. Yes, I do own McFarlane figures, if anyone was wondering, because it seemed like I didn't just because I didn't show them off. I'm not really much of a mainline McFarlane collector just because it's too expensive. Like, I can get two of these like, sometimes you get, like, at least two or three of these figures, then get, like, one of the only figure from McFarlane I'm interested in right now, other than the Batman Returns, is not Mr. Professor Pig. I'm interested in Professor Pig. I'm interested in a Professor Pig figure, but that's the only, like, mainline figure I'm really interested in, because Professor Pig is, like, one of my favorite Batman villains out there, because he's, like, obscure, but he's also, like, interesting. I don't know. But I think I'm going to end the video here. There's not much for me to say on this figure. I kind of see why people weren't reviewing this figure as much. It's not that, like, it's a Batman. Like, I kind of wish they did more for this figure, honestly. It's kind of just another Batman. Like, if I were to... Shit, what did I do with manga Batman? Hold on. To me, it's kind of just like, it's a cool Batman, but it's another Batman. I do want the black and gray, like, oval symbol Batman, which when I do get that figure in a few days, because I ordered it, I have a video coming up talking about black and gray Batman oval symbol Batman figures. I can't tell you the name of the title. I don't really have one yet, but I am going to be talking about black and gray Batmans. Not this one, but ones with the oval symbol, the animated series. Anyways, I kind of see why not a lot of people reviewed this figure as much as they reviewed the black and gray Detective Batman, the blue and gray Detective Batman. It's really just another Batman. And if you already have the Hush Batman, you're better off not, in my opinion, you're better off not getting this. I don't have the Hush Batman, so I was like, okay, I'll pick this up. This seems like a cool Batman to pick up. Have a comic Dark Knight Returns Batman, because I never owned a Dark Knight Returns figure. And, like, you know, I can have him in a gripping position or whatever, lifting up a thug or something like that. What's the line he says? Like, guns are the weapon of cowards, or something like that, you know. I don't know. There's not much for me to say. Usually there's a lot more for me to say on these videos, but I think, like, I wasn't expecting this figure to be, like, it's not bland. I don't want to say it's bland. It's an interesting figure. I like the bat symbol on it, and I was really excited to open it. I'm glad I did my review on it. I'm going to find a space for it up on my display shelf if I have any. Both of these figures were on my display shelf. I'm going to see if I want this figure up on my display shelf. Otherwise, I'm putting it in, like, a storage bin of Batman figures. So, and sometime I'll show you guys my display shelf, maybe in the next video or the next review. But I don't really know. I just, you know, when I think about it, like, this is just, like, I guess in a way Toy Shiz is right. It's just another Batman. Like, if you really want it, you really want it. It's not really something like I would say it's a must pick up like this Batman, which I'm gonna switch the focus for a minute. I found out this Batman is a lot more rare than I thought he was, actually. I kind of want to tell you guys the name of it, but there's only two loose figures. Only two. There's only two loose figures of this Batman. And he comes, and the only thing he's in is a box set. Oh, sorry, it's not focusing. But he's only in a box set. And I just want to switch the focus for a minute, because I just realized how rare he is. And the fact that I found him in, like, a local toy store, at the Toy Pit. I found him at the Toy Pit, and I have the box set. I have the Poison Ivy. I have the Mr. Freeze still. I don't have the accessories. I think I have the Poison Ivy accessories still, both of them. I'm missing Mr. Freeze's accessories. I'm missing Batman's accessories, and he had a cape that was, like, already in the figure, and I ripped it out, so I had to replace it with another Kenner cape. That's why this Kenner cape is kind of, if you look at it, is kind of wide on the figure, and it's because this cape wasn't actually meant for the figure. And I didn't realize it, but there's only two versions. And the thing is, I want to tell you guys the figure, but I'm also going to be selfish, because I'm debating if I want to buy another Batman figure of this and make a custom absolute Batman. Because honestly, it wouldn't be hard for me to make it. This literally is a body of an absolute Batman. It would not be hard for me to make an absolute Batman custom with a second figure of this. Would not be that hard to do. But honestly, back to this figure. It's an okay Batman figure. I think mostly it's just because I don't know. I like collecting 5-inch figures or 4-inch 4-inch to 5-inch figures. That's what I'm gonna say. But I don't know. This Batman isn't. It was exciting to get it. I really wanted it. I think maybe just like overall, like since I think what takes me out of it is that like the fact that it's just a reuse of this body. That's really what takes me out of it. I feel like Mcfarlane should have done what Kenner did. Kenner, in a way, they did reuse Batman mold bodies, but like I like when Kenner took like this Batman figure and like let me sit this Batman figure down for a minute. I liked when Kenner took this Batman figure, and then you have this Batman figure, and these are completely two different fucking figures. Yes, they most of the time they did reuse that body mold. That was the first TMBA animated Batman they put out. But I liked how they would make different variations of armors in a way for Batman. And this gives me like a props him up. This gives me more of a, like, either a Arkham City or Absolute Batman vibe. And honestly, I want to get another Absolute. He was a part of the Frozen Assets. I'm just going to give it away because I'm probably not going to buy an extra. But if I do, I have no clue how many of you are actually going to go and buy it or sit through the end of this video. But if you did, thank you. I'm not ungrateful about that. Thank you if you sat through me just yapping about these action figures. But I don't know. I honestly don't mind this Dark Knight Returns Batman. Mcfarlane did a good job on the molding. It kind of gives me a Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns vibe. You could tell by the bat symbol, it's definitely Dark Knight Returns. I think I saw a year one Batman that actually looked better. I offered the guy $40, and generally I might buy it. Hopefully my girlfriend won't be mad about that, but you know, I might buy it. She probably won't, but action figure collectors with girlfriends, they know. Just me yapping off of my ass. And if she's watching, I love you, baby. But I don't know. This figure really is. This figure is nothing. I don't know. It's not that it's not. I don't want to say it's nothing. Like I wasted my money. You know, it's not that. It's just like I'm not getting like a. I don't know. It's like a vibe I'm not getting. Like this figure, I want to feel like I can mess with it. I can play with it. I can put this Batman in like a display. Like, yeah, you can't do much posing with these figures, but I like to sometimes just place a Batman or a Bruce Wayne in this chair in the Batcave, or have like some type of display scene going on with this Batman figure. But like this gives me a reason I want to play with it. It has a vibe about it that I want to play with it. Same with that Batman figure, and maybe a little bit with that Batman figure. But this Batman figure, I don't know. I just want to sit on the shelf and not even fucking mess with it. Like, I mean, okay, that's not my entire thought. I still want to mess with it a few times, but like, I don't know. Pause on that part. But like, I don't know. I don't know what's special about it. I think like if you're looking for a Dark Knight Returns Batman in 5-inch scale that goes with your Kenner figures, your Toy Biz, here you go. That's what this is. That's literally what this is. I'm probably gonna end the video on that note. This will forever, next to the Combat Belt Batman, always be my favorite Batman figure. I don't know why. I kind of like the utility belt style on this. I can't get enough of holding this figure, and the fact that like this is one of my Batman figures and I never lost it. And the fact that I was a smart enough child to slip on another Kenner cape after losing the actual cape. I didn't know if this cape would have fit it, because I had to kind of force fit it, because originally it had like a smaller clip and then it widened the clip, so now this cape is only meant for that Batman figure. But all these Batman together, these Mcfarlanes, manga Batman, in my opinion, looks better than the Dark Knight Returns Batman. I don't know why. I just feel like this came more straight out of the comic, in my opinion. It has the same head mold and everything. This Dark Knight Returns Batman just feels a little lazy. I kind of wish there was... Because the utility belt for Dark Knight Returns Batman is a little more different than this basic. He reused it, and I kind of wish he molded it different. I know, obviously, I think it's the... Wait a second, is the pouches painted on? Hold on, before I end this video. Are those painted on or molded? Is that molded? That might be molded. Hold on. I can't tell if those are painted on or molded. I think it's molded. I think he molded each pouch of the utility belt. Hold on, did he? I can't tell if that's just how it feels all around or... No, he molded it. He molded it. You can tell when it's molded. He molded... Okay. McFarlane, you deserve that credit. You molded the pouch. I mean, these pouches are also molded. So, but like, the fact that he molded it, that's pretty fucking cool. I think I'm going to end it on this note. I do like this figure. I'm not going to diss it any credit. I think it does give you what you want. I had an idea. I kind of wish McFarlane did more with the Dark Knight Returns line in this like size. Like, imagine if he gave us like a mutant and a mutant leader in a Batman pack where the mutant leader is kind of like a little bigger than this Batman or whatever, or he gave us a little slightly bulky Batman with a mutant or a Catherine, I can't remember her fucking name. It's the Robin that's in the Dark Knight Returns, and kind of wish he gave us a Robin, like gave us that Robin. Like, I feel like McFarlane missed the mark with the superpowers line, because if he was gonna go like with these different variations, he should have leaned into it more, like gave us packs and not just single figure. I know he was trying to go for the more retro style, but you kind of have to stick out of the retro style and give us like packs. Like, I remember that's how I got this Batman. I got this cool ass Batman through a pack. Like, you kind of have to think, you get cool variation of characters through packs. But I'm going to end the video on that note. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, like, comment below, and leave post notifications on, and I'll catch you guys next time.